Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well. This race was and is still going. Last lap is still being taken, as you see right there on the screen. This race definitely was way less eventful than I anticipated based off what we saw from free practice and what we saw for qualifying. This this also will be largely blown out of proportion in regards to the race winner for sure. Qualifying itself set us up for a podium that I don't think any of us would have predicted. I don't think anybody would have predicted this podium. Who is not well, probably not feeling his best for sure, and manages to get a podium in Azerbaijan. But the biggest shout out, and I know there are underlining circumstances to this entire race. There are underlying circumstances to this entire race. There's underlying circumstances to Max being on pole with the situations that occurred in qualifying. There's underlying circumstances to where Mercedes kind of is. I kind of give Mercedes a little bit of full merit because they've been floating here and there. And there are underlying circumstances to why Williams is where they are. But I am still utterly happy for Williams to have a podium in Formula One by way of Sainz, even after they decided that they weren't going to continue to develop their car for this season. I gotta give Williams what's going on, self-made maintenance. What's up, Mary Beanie? What's up, Galactus? I gotta give Williams their props. I'm really excited for Williams in this season. I'm a little bit concerned about next season, as everybody should be for just about every team on the grid. But I'm a little bit concerned about Williams for next season because I felt this is the type of finish I would like to see them get. But I would have liked to see them get that finish in a typical race environment. This is not a typical race environment. Azerbaijan does have places you can pass and overtake. It is still limited. It's deceiving, right? And this is for sure going to be the conjuring circuit. It gave us a calamity of situations. What's going on, Miss Dino, Mary Beanie? It gave us a calamity of situations for sure. Azerbaijan was definitely conjuring. But there are some things that we do have to address. We do have to address it. And I know they got this thing going on. And now we have in an entire season of this is 17 rounds of racing. And I just got to say, somebody's not going to have certain things age well unless they win the championship. All right. But first, big shout out to the smooth operator, Carlos Sainz. We are all wrong. No red flag. I know. And that's what I was talking about, bro. It totally flipped. And you know what I think it was, Galactus? I think that the lack of red flags in the actual race was about drivers being a bit more precautious about their pace. That is what I think. This is an excellent situation, especially for Williams. But I think what we happened to see here was drivers being a bit more conscious about their pace and not pushing to make a mistake, right? We did have a couple of mistakes, right? We definitely had some mistakes. But fortunately, we didn't have any mistakes that brought out the red flag. So to me, driver of the day, team of the day is going to be Williams with Sainz, Carlos Sainz in on a podium. That's where I sit on that. Hadjar, glad he still managed to get in there and squeeze him the last point out anyway on the race. But yeah, I'm genuinely happy for Williams. You know, they've been behind for so long. They've been counted out for so long in Formula One, and rightfully so. They didn't have the best programs. They didn't have the best car. At times, they definitely didn't have the best drivers. It has been an upward battle for Williams for years now. For years now. And I think that this is earned. This is genuinely earned. But of course, there are some legitimate circumstances that led to this outcome. But guess what? That's racing. That's racing. This happens in racing. This happens in plenty of events. So I'm not finna go and discount Williams for what happened here. I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm not finna go and discount him for what happened. And I will say, I wonder, much like you all, has Ferrari gotten rid of the wrong driver? Carlos Sainz was absolutely critical. He was critical in the race trim about the undercut in George Russell. Carlos has always exemplified a racing acumen that I don't think any of us have seen Charles display. I understand Charles, the younger driver. I understand the monogas brother. I understand all of that. And I understand one lap race pace. I understand that. But it just still seems that we see elements in Carlos Sainz that we do not see out of Charles Leclerc yet. And I got to say, I've always been the one of few or many that share the opinion that Ferrari probably should have kept Carlos. I'm just keeping it a buck. And this is one of the big reasons why Red Bull didn't want Carlos. Red Bull didn't want Carlos because they never want anybody to challenge Max Verstappen in the team. They don't want people to take points off Max Verstappen in the team. They don't want to disturb what technically is a very fragile mind in Max Verstappen within the racing team environment. The same reason why Red Bull didn't want Carlos is a big reason why Ferrari should have kept Carlos. Carlos, to me, is a more complete driver than Charles Leclerc. Carlos, to me, is just a more complete driver. That's just how I feel. I understand all the attributes that they talk about with Charles. I understand that. But to me, Carlos is just a more complete driver. And Williams, I hope you go into 2026. I know you've been focusing on 2026, and I hope your development lands you within the vicinity of good performance in 2026. Because if it doesn't, I am going to criticize you on letting 2025 go a tad bit by the wayside, just a tad bit, and then underperforming to a degree that it is absolutely embarrassing in 2026. So I'm hoping that 2026 is a very good season for you. I'm hoping that next season is a very good season for you, for sure. Antonelli, I am absolutely incredible facts, quests in the chat, but one lap pace is not going to win you the race. Thank you. Incredible facts, quest. I share that very, very same. Bum Spanker, I don't like MV, but total masterclass today. I'm not feeling the masterclass thing. I'm not feeling the masterclass thing. If you want to say a solid, consistent race, I'm with that. If you want to say you got out front, they chose to stay out until the last minute to build the gap, I'm with that. I ain't really with the masterclass on this. What really was a masterclass? You got out front. You had the fastest car out of all the other cars that were out there. Are we going to say that the Red Bull is a slower car than the Mercedes? No. Are we going to say that the Red Bull is a slower car than the Williams? No. Are we going to say that the Red Bull is a slower car than the Red Bull Jr.? No. That's not really set up to be a masterclass. I will say you did what you were supposed to do in the situation that you had to do it in. And that is truly what you can count on Max Verstappen to do. If he gets the opportunity, he's going to take it. If he's the fastest car in the bunch, he's going to lead it. If you're trying to go around him, he's going to make it extremely difficult. What we see is a 14-second pace out there. That's not a masterclass. That's not a masterclass. That's just doing what you do when the situation provides the opportunity for you to do it. And Max Verstappen did that. No shade at all. Just calling it like it is. But the masterclass that's blown out of proportion. That's really blown out of proportion. It really is. That's blowing it out of proportion. All right. So we do have 4 race wins and a 17 race thus far season for Max Verstappen. Do you want to call that a master season? Masterclass of a season? Look at all that red. Now, truth be told, I said it last week, the week before last week, and I'll say it again. I didn't count it out that Max Verstappen could reel off some wins going into the next part of this. I definitely don't class that out. I told you all that. Max Verstappen, always good for a hot lap for sure. Bumsmaker says he had a huge lead. What else did you expect for him? And if he had the best car, then why is his teammate, oh, wow, who is a very good driver, is always, okay, Bumsmaker, now you putting yourself in a position. Now you step wrong. Why has any second driver in the Red Bull ever had this situation? Name me a second driver in the Red Bull that's just been out of sight with the Red Bull car. Don't act like you don't understand and know what everybody else knows. Red Bull built a Max Verstappen-centric car, and no other driver has been able to get into that car and perform at that level. The best driver you had that could do it, you want to debate Danny Rick? Cool. Sergio Perez was it. They let him go, and what has the second driver done since Sergio Perez? Are you going to tell me right now, and don't forget, this is Yuki's first season in the Red Bull car, bro. This is Yuki's first season in the This is what I mean by blowing shit out of proportion. I told you what I expected. I expected when Max Verstappen was in pole, but let's not act. How many pole positions does Max Verstappen have this season? 6. How many race wins does he have? 4. That means he's failed to convert pole 2 of those times out of pole position. All right? He's failed to do that. So what do I expect for a masterclass? I expect when I see a masterclass, for you to be in a heavily competitive environment, some overtake, some good defense, consistent driver, no mistakes. This is not a masterclass. This is just a consistent good drive and doing what you're supposed to do when you're the fastest car in a bunch. That's not masterclass like. And you know why his teammate is where he is. Let's just be for real. Come on now. Nobody in here, I don't think anybody in here is going to say Liam Lawson is a better driver than Max Verstappen or even close to being equal to Max Verstappen. I don't think anybody in here right now is going to say Yuki Tsunoda is a better driver than Max Verstappen or yet close to Max Verstappen. What we can say is Yuki's first time in his team with this car and just getting the equated updates that he should be having, he's still in the points. But Yuki's not a better driver than Max Verstappen. Come on, man. I'm not even going to spend no more time on shenanigans. Those are shenanigans right there. So what I was going to say, big shout out to Antonelli, because this is what Antonelli consistently needs. Very well finished in the points. Big shout out for sure, of where he is. J-Rob in the Super Chat says, so I was listening to Hamilton radio. They asked him to give position back to Charles on the final lap. Right. On the final corner, which was 2 seconds back. Hamilton slowed down right in the line. This is now makes me question Ferrari a lot. It should, because I heard that as well. It should. Because what it comes off as, if, you know what, listen, I mean, Hamilton, it's not for the race win. Can you just let Charles get by you real quick, get those extra points? Why? You know who should have been doing that? Who's probably going to regret not doing it? McLaren. But before we get to McLaren, because I'm going to roast the shit out of them, let's just stay with Antonelli, because Antonelli deserves a little bit of some props today. Antonelli, hoping that he is out of this emotional spiral that he technically has been on for some time. I've really been hoping that was going to be the case for him. He got a good performance in this race. He managed to actually have a good performance in this race, finish well, and I think that is a very good situation for him. The young brother has been having a time. Antonelli has been having a time. And now I'm hoping that is behind him. I'm hoping that Antonelli can now feel a little bit more relieved. And with feeling relieved about this finish today, I'm hoping that he carries that momentum into the following races. I'm hoping that the rest of the season for Antonelli looks similar or better than this. For sure. I don't know what Mercedes is waiting on. I don't know. I don't know what Mercedes thinks that they're playing at. I know what they're playing at, but I don't know what they think they're playing at. But it's ridiculous. Russell's contract needs to be done. It needs to be done. I don't know how you're going to do it or how you're going to work it out or where you're going to make some concessions and some agreements, but your boy just put you on podium in a situation, true, that has underlying circumstances, but that you're supposed to do what you need to do when opportunity is presented to you. Max did that. Russell did that. Carlos did that. Antonelli did that. Lawson did that. Yuki did that. Everybody else underneath that, Hadjar did that. There's a few teams right here in the middle that should have done more and should have been doing more this entire season that haven't done it. But what's up with Russell's contract? Why would you bring about a uncomfortable situation with your rookie driver? Max Verstappen is not coming. That trophy is dope. They made a dope trophy for Baku. That I just had to say, that trophy is dope as hell. The first place trophy might be one of the dopest trophies for this season. That trophy is dope. It looks like some Tron shit. I just had that trophy looks like some Tron shit. Hey, I'm just saying. That's a dope trophy. Probably one of the best. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They need to get that settled. Now let's go. Here we got the Racing Bull Junior team. Lawson, hey, congratulations, man. 5th place. Lawson, congratulations. Hadjar still in the points. I'm really kind of, hey, good job to the Red Bull Junior team. I am like that. These Hadjar especially. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting on Lawson. Lawson still got to get, but Hadjar, especially as a rookie in the Junior Red Bull car, has been doing his thing. And I'm not sure what Hadjar's going to do, but if I were Red Bull, Yuki deserves another season in the team. This is his first season. I don't think it's time to kick Yuki out. All right. I don't think it's time to get Yuki out of there. And I think he needs another season. He's just getting in there. Carlos is just getting in Williams. Salute to Carlos for what happened today. Alpine had a calamity of a damn race too. He ran into a damn Alpine. That wasn't nice. Didn't look good. He definitely didn't benefit from it as he finishes outside the points. But up until now, Albon has been outperforming Carlos Sainz. Sainz had himself in a very good position. Congratulations to him. Lawson, congratulations to you. Hadjar, congratulations to you. Now, I'm going to get to these teams because we're about to get to blasting somebody because we need to get to some shit that I need to talk about. Paul in the Super Chat says, couldn't script this last stint of the season any better. I smell a title fight coming down to the end. Smash the like button, y'all. Peace and love. And that we're going to talk about that. Because right now, with these drivers the way they are, Piastri gets no extra points. He's got 324. Lando Norris goes to 296, 28 points outside of first place. Max Verstappen, 255, 69 points out of first place. Guess what? We're about to talk about that. But first, Kick Sauber, boo. Haas, boo. And, of course, Alpine, trash. Alpine team trash right now. I'm really waiting to see next season to grade Alpine. Anything Alpine does, aside from if Alpine gets in the top 10 or Alpine gets up even 12, 11, anywhere in there, it's a good day for them. I'm really waiting until next season when they get the Mercedes power unit, they become a customer team. I'm really waiting next season to start their grading because right now they trashed up. They need to get rid of Flavio Briatore. They need to do something a bit better. They are trying to do better, and I'm looking for them to do better. Now, let's talk about the F stuff. McLaren fucked up today. McLaren absolutely ruined and botched it today. They absolutely botched it. Yo, hey, listen, bad days happen. Bad days do happen. And I'm going to tell you this. You are warranted to have your bad days, especially when you have so many good days. You're going to have a bad day. Even the greatest drivers have had a bad day. But damn, what a time to have it. And what a way to have it. Oscar Piastri in the wall at the first damn lap? At the first lap in the barriers? You know what that was? Pressing. That was Oscar Piastri pressing the car on tires before it was time to press on those tires. And it cost him heavily. It cost him heavily in the regard of Max Verstappen and not so much in regards to Lando Norris. But I'm telling you, it was absolutely ridiculous for McLaren this weekend. McLaren this weekend was absolutely ridiculous. It was not a good week. It wasn't even an okay week. It was nothing but a bad weekend for McLaren. Very bad. And I'm keeping it a buck. Oscar, he buckled today. He did buckle today. But guess what? He's got some leeway. Oscar's got some leeway to do that. That's not consistent for Oscar. That's not typical for Oscar. Mistakes happen, but yeah, he messed up. Oscar definitely messed up. He definitely messed up. He pressed when it wasn't time to press. And then guess what? Even if he didn't press those tires and end up in the barriers, he dropped the clutch on a false start. He false started. He was just pressing. I think he pressed and he buckled with the pressure that he put on himself to try to make up for a race weekend that has not been going well for McLaren. Don't count him out. Do not count Oscar Piastri out. People like Oscar Piastri are mentalities like Oscar Piastri. Did you see the way the bro was sitting there watching the race? You know, and let me tell y'all what he was thinking. I'm finna tell y'all what he was thinking right now. He was thinking, oh, this is not going to work. This is why you prioritize your championship leading driver, McLaren. This is what Oscar Piastri is thinking. You know what? That question that Clarkston asked me about giving up position if it had been for a race win, oh, I definitely know what my answer is right now. It's no. That's what my answer is right now. It's no. Oscar Piastri has just evolved and turned into another beast based off this situation today. Because now, if he never knew it, now he clearly understands, shit, every race win ain't promised. Every good finish is not promised. Every high points finish is not promised. So you know what? I'm going to carpe diem this damn thing. I'm going to seize the moment every time I get to. Because I cannot count on Zach Brown. I cannot count on the pit wall to make sure that they are looking out for my best interest. Now what I need to know, give me the best car that you can give me, and I'm going to go do what I need to do. But what I'm not finna do anymore is probably, you know what? I'll give it to Lando. You know what? I'll give it back to Lando. You know what? I'll help Lando. I think that might be coming to an end. I think that might be coming to an end. And rightfully so. Because we saw McLaren screw up last season with Lando. You didn't prioritize drivers when Lando clearly had the lead to get into the Drivers' Championship and possibly win. You botched it up. Oscar, don't let them screw you, bro. Don't let them screw you. If you win, they will get their championship, Constructors' Championship. Bro, don't let them screw you like Mercedes ended up kind of finagling, botching the scandal and got their 8th and Lewis didn't get it. Don't let them do you like that, bro. Mechanic Mercedes in the super chat, same with Lewis. Him not giving position to Charles has sparked something. Prime Lewis is back. I agree. I agree. You got to be this way. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say something as stupid as Juan Pablo Montoya to say that you got to be willing to go out here and kill people to be the best driver in Formula One. That was totally dumb and idiotic to say. That wasn't a good thing to say. But I will say this. You got to be willing to say F other people on the track and do what you need to do to get yours if you want to win it. Within reason, though. Within reason. Because some people go overboard. Some people don't have nothing to lose, and they still don't help a teammate. Right now, Oscar, you got something to lose, bro. Incredible Facts Quest says, what about Ferrari choosing those tires for Hamilton during qualifying? Incredible Facts Quest. Bum shit. Crazy. Crazy. Even Lewis looking like, what? What we doing around here? But this is outside of pit stops this season, Ferrari has been atrocious. And I'm not talking about Lewis. I'm not talking about Charles. They both have made their errors as drivers, but they've made errors within reasonable amounts of drivers making errors no matter how good you are. I'm talking about the team has been atrocious. If you want to hang your hat on pit stops in 2025, look, we got 2.2 seconds. We got some of the fastest pit stops this season. We got pit stop awards. How much does pit stop awards pay you? How many championships are you going to count on your wall for pit stop championships? Back in 2025, we were the pit stop champions. Nobody gives a damn about that. Ferrari is absolutely ridiculous right now. And McLaren look horrible this weekend. And you know what else looked bad? Lando Norris. Lando, every race event, especially ones like this, your statement of having the fastest car is all you need to have to win a championship, it's not looking good on you. Because right now what it's saying is you're not even good enough as a driver to have one of the fastest, if not dominant car this season and win races. I'm going to tell you this, and I got to say it because it's true to say. When Max Verstappen had the fastest car and the most dominant car, you could bet your ass from 7th place, he was going to come back and win that race. 9 times out of 10. Lewis Hamilton in the fastest car, most dominant car, he's going to come back and win that race. Hell, from 15th position. Lando Norris in 7th position. Bro, you didn't barely move a damn nudge. You didn't barely move a nudge. So, Lando, keep your mouth shut and your eyes open and just drive the best that you can drive and don't make any more references to you talking about, oh, yeah, you just had the fastest car back then. What's the win? Bro, you looking bad right now. You need team help. You need team orders. You need a teammate that's going to cuddle you. You need a pit wall that's going to cuddle you. All this you need of special updates other than what your other teammate gets. You need a lot to be the best you in the fastest car, Lando. Damn. I'm starting to think even if you was in a Red Bull 2022, you couldn't do shit. That's what it's starting to look like. Lando, even in the most dominant car in Formula One history that Max Verstappen had, probably wouldn't do much. That's what it's just starting to look like. Lando probably right now is understanding that, you know what? Lewis was pretty damn good. Shit, he didn't have the fastest car at times, and he still was damn good. Trying to tell you, then right after Lewis Hamilton was kicked out, Leclerc crashed out. Hey, listen, Ferrari is looking atrocious. Lando needs to mind his own business. Facts, bro. He needs to mind his own damn business. He needs to stop talking so saucy. Lando is being truly humbled right now. He is. He's being truly humbled. There's no reason, according to Lando, for him to be competing like he's competing. Bro looking crazy. I'm just saying, bro looking crazy. McLaren looking crazy. And they are going to do it again. Oscar, don't let them do it to you, bro. If you have a race win and they asking you to switch positions, if you have the better position and they asking you to switch positions, hey, unless it's a very valid reason, don't do it. McLaren is going to screw you, bro. They going to screw you. They done already done it. You'd have a much better lead right now had you not done some of the things they asked you to do in the benefit of Lando Norris. Because I'm just calling it like it is, man. Going forward, you might see some different decisions from Oscar Piastri. Going forward, you looking at some different decisions from Lewis Hamilton. But what I will say is Singapore has not really been Red Bull's best event. And I'm going to tell you right now, the new power unit, that fresh power unit might be working for Max Verstappen. And I do know that McLaren's working on a more ragged dog power unit. You can't be making mistakes like this out here. You can't be doing it. As much as I criticize Max Verstappen about being an ass on track and doing some very heinous things, I don't like him as a driver. I don't like him as a person from what I see from afar. Behind the whatever he is, I've seen enough characteristics that I wouldn't chill with Max Verstappen at all. But there are certain qualities that Max does show that other drivers need to take note of, except for Lewis Hamilton. He don't need to take note. He got it. And that is, I'm going to do what needs to be done when I have the opportunity to do it. If you put me in the fastest car on a track with slower cars, I'm going to make sure I come away with the race win. For sure. And that is basically a sample size of what you got today up top. Max Verstappen was the fastest car out of a Mercedes, out of a Williams, out of a Racing Bulls. And that's what you got when he was competing with today. In a track where Lando Norris couldn't manage to find his way through an open field with no obstructions in it. Miss Dino says in the super chat, over Ferrari, how dare they ask for the swap with no benefit? Gloves off, Sir Lewis Hamilton, cuss people out, take charge of the strategy when it does not feel right to you. That's a fact. And that was absolutely ridiculous. Liam Lawson was fighting for his damn life out there when he had Lewis Hamilton there. What in the hell is Ferrari asking to swap positions for? It made absolutely no sense. The only thing that you can say is, we just wanted Charles to be in front of you and get more points than you. That's the only thing you can say. And it's ridiculous to ask that. It is disrespectful to ask that. If I was Lewis Hamilton, I would feel absolutely disrespected for you to ask me to swap positions when there ain't even a race. There's nothing really to benefit from this. He is where he is because that's where he is. He's already got 44 points up on me in the Drivers' Championship lead, and you want me to swap positions for who? Kimi Antonelli, who's only got 78 points? He's not under attack from that. For what? To try to catch George Russell at 212 points? What are you trying to do? What opportunity are you absolutely trying to maximize for Charles that you're not trying to maximize for me in a situation where there ain't nothing really at stake? That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. What are we doing? That's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. What are we talking about? Yeah, Ferrari, I don't know where you at with some of this. I told y'all when we heard about Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari, I was still concerned. And it wasn't because of Lewis Hamilton. It was because Ferrari does Ferrari things. Ferrari does Ferrari things. Ferrari, I've always said it. The F in Ferrari stands more than for Ferrari. Fumbled it up, effed it up, fouled it up. They do these things. It's just mind-blowing. It is arrogant Arrogance at its best, that is just spitting in the wind and it blowing back in your face and you calling it moisturizer. No, that's spit. You spit in your own face. That's not lotion. That's not facial moisturizer. That's not beard conditioner. That's spit. That's you spitting in the wind, and then all of a sudden you're so arrogant you can't even realize and call it what it really is. That we just are messing up. You mess up the strategy. You got too many strategies. You haven't developed well. You messed up on development into this season. The only thing that you've been good at consistently this season is pit stops. Congratulations. It just is what it is. It is what it is. This is what it is. And I don't even think we have the next race next week. I don't even think we got a race next week, do we? I think we skip another week and then we go in, right? So yeah, we don't even come back until Singapore October 3rd. So you know what that means? That means this coming up weekend we'll likely have a grudge race on Sunday. So you already know the next track is going to be Azerbaijan. So all drivers that are going to be participating in the grudge race coming up weekend, start practicing on Baku. That's where we're going to be. I told you, for rule of thumb, anytime you don't hear from me, if you don't hear from me, the race that we would do a grudge race will be whatever race was last that we're coming into the break with, and that is Azerbaijan. So start practicing, start getting ready, because it looks like Sunday we're going to have a grudge race because we don't come back for Singapore until the 3rd. So we got plenty of time. All right. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm just gonna say this, and I've told Oscar, we've said it several times. I do not trust McLaren with, and this is why Oscar's got to watch out for his own team. I do not trust McLaren not to do some funny business, and Lando Norris only being out right now 28 points in this race. Something more has got to happen, because Lando just proved to you he can't even make it happen when it's given to him. He didn't make that happen. They're going to do a lot of babying for Lando Norris. If I was Oscar, I wouldn't be trusting them. I'd do everything you need to do to hold them legally responsible, to make sure things are the way they are. Do everything you need to do when they talk about team orders to analyze everything. And you know what? You might have to say F that and do what you got to do. At this, hey, we got commission to Super Chat. At this point, watching F1 is a health risk. With the shit Ferrari keeps trying to do to Lewis, I fear for my health. It's anxiety, right? It's angst. Annex. I'm trying to tell you, it's annex. It's totally that. It's ridiculous. You know, and I'm not gonna be surprised if you don't remember Lando Norris era. Watch it, Oscar. I'm trying to tell you. Watch it back. The ones closest to you might be the ones trying to screw you. Watch Zach Brown and his slick talking ass too. Zach Brown's a slick talking ass person. You need to watch him. You need to watch him. Now, today was completely your fault. Oscar, you messed it up today. For sure. You messed it up today. You can't afford to mess it up yourself. Nobody can look at this today and say McLaren had you screwing up. You messed up the start. You went into the wall. Totally cool. Mistakes happen. You're a driver. Mistakes happen to the best of them. We didn't see it from Max Verstappen to Lewis Hamilton to Ayrton Senna. Everybody does it. It's okay. But you can't afford to keep doing things like this. You should have dialed it back some for real. You press too hard, bro. You can't afford to do that. I'm not telling you to drive precaution, but I'm telling you to drive with caution. I'm telling you to step forward with caution, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck. Zach Brown is a slick talking ass person. You got to watch him. Seen one way, but he really be another way for sure. Them bringing that Oscar Piastri car back on the tow truck, dang, that look horrible, man. But this is not like Oscar. Oscar will be back. I think this is going, if anything, it's going to make him more emboldened. And Piastri, even Max Verstappen has said it, Piastri doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Max Verstappen driving against Piastri knows Piastri a real dog out here. He's never credited Lando Norris to that degree in a competitive stance. Because Lando Norris is not competitive to Max Verstappen, and he knows it. But Piastri, he's a dog. He is a dog. He's going to bounce back. I'm confident in that. If it don't happen, I'd be surprised for sure. So we'll see what happens. We will be in Wolves Den. At Wolves Den is, I want to say it's 11 a.m. I think Wolves Den is 11 a.m. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I think Wolves Den is scheduled for 11 a.m. Let me make sure I check right here, chat. I'm going to check right now. Let me check when Wolves Den is, because we should have it up here. Wolves Den is 11. It is set for Wolves Den is set for 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So be in the Wolves Den. Set your clocks accordingly. We have about 2 hours time. All right. An hour and 42 minutes before Wolves Den starts. Go ahead and make sure you're there. We'll be at the Discord. And so we'll see what happens. But this championship is technically not over, chat. And I'm standing on what I said. I'm not backing off what I said. If McLaren mess it up, McLaren mess it up. Max Verstappen has nothing to do with making orders at McLaren. Everything to do with Red Bull, but not at McLaren. If McLaren screw Piastri over and try to sneak Lando in and drop the ball and Max gets a championship, guess what? I'm going to say this is this is the best championship that Max Verstappen could have earned. Hands down. This will be the best champion. There will be no questions about this championship this season if Max Verstappen pulls this one out. This will be a championship. McLaren will have messed it up and given it away, but what are you supposed, if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you want $1 million? You going to say no? Somebody come up to you and say, hey, here's $1 million. I don't need it. I'm just going to drop it. You can pick it up and take it. You're not going to take it? You're not going to pick that up? Yeah, you're going to pick that up. If McLaren dropped this driver's championship and Max Verstappen picks it up, oh well. Scratch your ass and be glad, McLaren. You should do better. I don't know when you're going to learn. You should have learned last season that your way is not the way. But I don't think you care as long as it ain't Lando Norris. If it ain't Lando, you cool with it being messed up. If it ain't Lando, you cool with it. As long as it's not Oscar Piastri is what it's kind of starting to look like. So if Max picks up a championship based off McLaren screwing up, they just didn't learn their lesson from last season. McLaren just went and said, you know what, last season we really didn't mess. You taking a Ferrari kind of approach. We really didn't mess that up. It was cool. We could do it again this season. We'll be all right. We'll probably have a different result. You might have your picture among many other people next to the definition of insanity, doing the same damn thing and expecting a different result. Kamisha in the super chat says, I still haven't figured out how to join the Yo, Kamisha, you got to get with me then. You got to get with me on. We do have a video up that shows you how to get in it, but if you haven't, you need to get with me. Hit me up on social media, Instagram or Twitter, so I can help you work that out. But you do need to be mindful. Your email address that you use to be a member on Wolfpack Performance needs to be your same email address that you sign up with your Discord for, so you get recognized. But you need to get with me or get with one of the members. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll help you work that out, because it's really not that difficult, but it is some steps that you might not be familiar with on taking. So just get with me. I've helped several other people work it out and get in there on my own personal time. So just get with me and we'll see about that. So, hey, big shout out to everybody. We will be in the Wolves Den. And, hey, Dreads, if you could, hey, share that video. Drop that video for her so she can see it. The video is confusing. Hey, you know what? You might be right. So maybe I'll make a new video. But I will say this. If you do hit me up, I will work with you. I think Ms. Dino, I think several other people that have hit me up on social media, I will work with you and try to assist you. Ms. Dino, I think she's found her way in there as well. She can help you out, and I will make a new video on how to get in there. So no problem at all. We'll definitely help you. So just reach out with me and we'll get with you, okay? So with that being said, this is definitely, we'll definitely get a new, this how to get in the Discord video. I need to make that for sure. That's on me. We'll definitely be in the Wolves Den. We'll definitely be back with another race coming up soon. But, yo, a lot of mistakes were made in free practice and qualifying, less mistakes made in the race. I think drivers were a little bit more precautious. McLaren screwed up. Shout out to Williams for getting on the podium. And Antonelli, I'm hoping you continue to have a better season. And with that being said, we are out. I will see you on the next one. Peace.